Now, just to clarify, all 3 Loyola members that are in isolation right now show no signs of the coronavirus, and health officials say it's likely they'll never show any symptoms at all. That isolation ends March 19th. For now, I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News. And again, I'm standing right here outside of the Hard Rock Hotel collapse site. I just want to let you guys know that the glaring issue, one of the glaring issues, I should say, will be the barricades. I'm going to step out the way so you guys can get a better look of what we're talking about. These barricades have been blocking buildings and residencies since October. These people have not been able to have access to their buildings. And it's also going to have impact on the carnival season this year, with several crews rerouting their routes to avoid the area completely. Now, the plan is, as of right now, to implode this building behind me sometime in mid-March, after Mardi Gras and before French Quarter Fest. For now, I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News. And while the coronavirus is not a big threat to Louisiana as of right now, officials say they'll be transparent if it ever is. Several days after one of the most devastating disasters here in New Orleans, leaders of faith are doing what they can to impact the survivors of the Hard Rock Hotel collapse. And after Friday's agreement, both the city's firefighters and the mayor's office say there's a little more trust between both parties. Family, friends, and fans all mourn the loss of a New Orleans bounce icon. But after the service, they took to the streets to celebrate his life. I'm standing in the Uptown neighborhood near Children's Hospital, where Andrea James got the diagnosis of her life. She found out that her son has a life-changing disease. Here's their story.
The surgeries, the pain, you just want to take it from them, take their place, as any mom or dad or family member would.
At 17 months old, Axel Dennis has spent more time in the hospital than not, getting treatment for spinal muscular atrophy type 1, or SMA. His short time on Earth has been a battle for survival.
You watch them go through things and survive them and smile and laugh.
His mother, Andrea, went through a dramatic change, leaving the workforce and her social life behind a month after Axel was born.
You learn to be his full-time caregiver. You learn to be an ICU nurse, a therapist, a regular nurse.
And while Axel shows progress on his current medication, a miracle drug, Zolgensma, could permanently change his life for the better. But the family battles with Medicaid for the treatment.
So we submitted, and we got denied. We did an appeal with more information, and we were denied.
Andrea questions the agency's reasoning.
Makes zero sense to me. You can't be doing well on this drug to get a better drug.
Zolgensma is known as the world's most expensive drug, costing more than $2 million.
Medicaid, are you thinking my kid is not going to live to be 5 years old? You're basically saying that you don't think my kid's worth it?
With or without the drug, Andrea has hope her son will live a happy and full life.
He's going to go to school. He's going to learn. He's going to read books.
Despite the denials and the treatments, happiness bonds both mother and son together.
There is no depression. There is no sadness. He stripped it all away, all that away.
I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News.
Fully joyful.
Hard Rock, take your building down. Take it down. Hard Rock, take your building down.
More than 100 days after the Hard Rock Hotel collapse, New Orleans residents took to the streets.
Hard Rock, take your building down.
Giving a voice to families impacted by the disaster. The collapse killed 3 construction workers, 2 of which still remain inside the unstable building.
I'm super blessed. I was not injured. None of my loved ones are trapped in that building. None of my loved ones were hurt in that building. But that being said, we are all citizens of this city, and we're all victims of that crime.
Advocates brought their chants and their signs right here in front of City Hall to advocate for change.
Hard Rock, take your building down.
The crowd wants to see an improved responsible bidder ordinance, which grants construction projects to companies in good standing.
We technically have one on the books that just actually has zero enforcement or teeth behind it. So we are trying to recreate a new one and establish something that has some enforcement capabilities, potential to make contractors accountable.
Hard Rock, take your building down.
They also want more to be done by Mayor LaToya Cantrell's office.
I don't think she's really done anything. She's flip-flopped, she's back and forth with tearing it down, leaving it up.
Advocates ask that the city not forget about the victims of the collapse.
People who are affected by this, they're the ones who need to be put first, not keeping like a good name for the city.
Several city council members want to create a subcommittee to deal with the implosion of the site and the recovery of the 2 bodies.
We'll be here every day.
I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News. Loyola Law professor Shunlin Leonhard had the research opportunity of her dreams, studying law close to her family in China for an academic year. However, the Fulbright scholar didn't think the coronavirus outbreak would impact her, 250 miles away from the epicenter.
Even at that time, I wasn't concerned because it's far away enough.
Her situation rapidly changed.
Basically, all public transportation in the entire Hubei province was shut down. No buses, trains, or airplanes.
Once the Fulbright program canceled operations in China, Leonhard scrambled for a way out, much like hundreds of other Americans.
I actually have never seen such collective panic before in China.
Her fears grew even with a flight out of the country.
If I were to catch a virus at all, I would be catching it on the flight. I knew I was safe back where I was in Songzhi, but being on a flight filled with people from Wuhan made me nervous.
Leonhard will now spend the next 2 weeks at the Travis Air Force Base under quarantine, doing what she can to avoid the virus.
The risk of cross-contamination here is pretty high if you don't maintain the proper distance, and I'm certainly heeding that advice.
As the coronavirus spreads across China, Leonhard is concerned for her family she left behind.
The news from the home front is not good. I mean, my family is still safe. They tell me, but they have detected multiple cases right now of coronavirus infection.
She hopes Chinese officials can contain the virus soon, and that one day she can return and focus on her studies. For now, she's grateful for the encouragement from her Loyola family.
I am very grateful to my colleagues for all the wonderful messages and well wishes, and I know some attempted humor at cheering me up, and I'm also very grateful for the support of my dean, Madeline Landrew, and President Tetlow.
I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News.
Okay.
Thank God. From Slidell, Louisiana. Number 1, Paige Frankowitz.
A storied basketball career nears its end. Paige Frankowitz reflects on the 5 championship rings she helped win, 2 with her high school and 3 with Loyola.
Being able to look at them all at once is actually kind of daunting.
The starting shooting guard never gets tired of winning a title.
It feels like the first time every time.
With her final season in full swing, her support group wants to see her earn another piece of hardware to cap off her college career.
Coach Kennedy and everyone else jokes about like, okay, you're going 4 for 4 this year, right? Like you're gonna get your 4th ring. And I'm just like, like I hope so.
And while she's helped raise multiple banners in the Den, she wants more people to recognize what her program has achieved.
We've got like 10 people, which like 4 of which are my family. And then by the time the 4th quarter rolls around, the stands are packed because they're there for the men's game.
Coach Kelly Kennedy also wants more fans in the stands.
It would be nice to have a little bit more student involvement, seeing the great product that I think we put on the floor.
And Frankowitz feels the same way.
We might not dunk and we might not block shots into the 5th row, but we're still really talented. I mean, look at me, I can't jump over anyone. Like I have to get creative, we all do.
Currently, the athletics department has ideas in the works to get more people at Loyola home games.
Would love to get it filled where every seat's taken. That's my goal. I want all the seats taken. I want people standing because there aren't no seats,
And as the women's squad looks to three-peat in the conference tournament this year, Frankowitz will continue to advocate for more recognition.
I like to give women's sports a boost wherever I could.
I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News. A group of teens parade their way through Mardi Gras World.
I was always curious.
Getting a sneak peek at this year's carnival. Despite meeting just days ago,
we all have stuff in common.
Their bonds are strong.
We all have cancer and we can all talk about, I went through that, and we don't feel alone.
The Sunshine Kids Foundation hosted their 26th annual trip to the Big Easy. The nonprofit lets patients out the hospital for a week to explore New Orleans.
Whatever I can do to show them how we do it down here, I'm like, let's do it.
And that included king cake and more.
Oh, these floats, I like these floats. I just like the eyes and all the detail.
Now, the trip to New Orleans was definitely for the kids, but it was hard to tell who had more fun, them or the chaperones.
Mardi Gras has such a fun and exciting carnival spirit. We wanted to capture some of that for our young cancer patients.
The teens say sometimes that's exactly what they need.
Positive influence helps you get better faster.
Organizers hope the teens enjoy themselves while also making lifelong bonds.
And I know what that feels like on a personal level.
Taylor Mangus was a Sunshine Kid herself and realizes the importance of friendship during such a difficult time.
To see them interact and watch them ask those questions. Oh, who shaved your head? Oh, when did you lose your hair? And you know, I think the kids need that. I think that when you're going through that, it's so helpful to have those people that just get you.
For now, the focus is on letting the good times roll.
I would love to try beignets because I've seen them on TV and I'm like, oh, that looks so good.
I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News.